Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back.
Terence Bud Crawford is not interested in fighting Showtime Shawn Porter. Let's talk about it. Terence Bud Crawford has finally admitted that he simply is not interested in fighting former IBF WBC welterweight champion Showtime Shawn Porter in his next fight. Crawford says that he doesn't want the fight, even though it would be by far one of the biggest of his career. Porter has a record of 30 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 17 knockouts, and his father/trainer, Kenny Porter, have been talking to the media for the past 2 weeks, making it known that they want Crawford's promoter, Bob Arum of Top Rank, to contact them so they can make the fight happen. But nothing has materialized as late. If Crawford is turning the Porter fight down right now, he might be thinking he swing back later and negotiate it. Whether Porter is willing to still fight Crawford later on down the line, it would depend on the money. You have to believe that Crawford doesn't want to fight Porter right now. He doesn't like his chances of winning. Porter is an excellent inside fighter and is capable of pressuring boxers like Crawford and making them feel miserable. Terence Crawford likes to switch stances, counterpunch, and use his boxing ability. Sometimes it doesn't work against Showtime Shawn Porter. He smothered his counterpunches a lot, and he know how to cut the ring off pretty well. Crawford could change stances all he wants while he's being mugged by Porter on the inside, and it won't help him. Counterpunching only works when fighters are on the outside or at medium range. Porter will be all over Crawford like glue, so he would never have the opportunity to counterpunch as much. As such, Crawford would be in a brutal beating, and there would be nothing to save him. Now it's very clear why Bob Arum hasn't phoned Kenny to start the negotiation. Crawford doesn't want to fight for whatever reason, and the only thing that you can think is he's not very confident in if he can win the fight. The perception now, a lot of boxing fans is Crawford has been cherry picking soft opposition his whole entire career, and that's the reason why he's still unbeaten at 36-0. That's not a fight that Crawford said that's not a fight that he's focused on right now, or even worried about. He said that to DAZN about a fight between him and Showtime Shawn Porter. He said I'm focused on other things right now. If we had to fight and if it made sense, then that would be a fight that we would both agree upon. But right now, I feel like that's not something we should discuss right now because there's nothing on the table for me, says Terence Bud Crawford. That's an absolute lie. You went on an interview spree right before your fight with Kowalski's talking about how PBC is ducking you. Now all of a sudden you don't want to fight. This is obviously disappointing news that Crawford isn't willing to fight Showtime Shawn Porter, since that would have been a way for him to earn the fight with Earl Spence Jr. Right now, Crawford's resume is woefully poor from top to bottom. It's a weak resume that one sees with a lot of fighters, but Top Rank has done a good job of matching Crawford carefully by matching him up against strictly guys that he can beat, and not against the talented fighters. Crawford bailed from the 140-pound division without fighting Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, or Jose Ramirez. At 135, he only fought Eucarius Gamboa. He didn't tangle with any of the other talented lightweights. At 147, Crawford opposition has been mediocre guys, with him beating these fighters such as Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez Jr., Amir Khan, and Mean Machine Kowalski's. Crawford with a few options for big fights. The only fight that the top-ranked promoter Bob Arum was interested in matching Crawford up against was at 147 was Porter. And other than that, he spoke of putting him in the ring with 140-pound fighters. Arum wants to have Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez to move up to 147 to challenge Crawford. I think it's unlikely that Arum would be able to get Prograis or Taylor to agree to fight Terence Crawford at 147, but they're not going to want to fight him at the moment. Let's assume that the fight with Crawford really wants now is against Errol Spence Jr. due to him not being 100% after his car crash last October. And the fight still isn't going to happen right away when Errol comes back in the first half of 2020, because there's no way his advisor Al Heyman is going to put him in the ring with a good fighter right away. Showtime Shawn Porter would have been Crawford's only big fight in his career. The 32-year-old Crawford still isn't a pay-per-view star after 10 years of a professional career, and he's never had a big fight during his career. He supposedly wants to fight the welterweight signed with Premier Boxing Champions, but now one of them wants to challenge him, and he's not even interested in taking the fight. It's very sad, because right now the closest thing that Crawford has come to a big fight was against the shot Amir Khan last April. Porter is with the PBC, and he's the only one that interested in fighting him. Well, Danny Garcia has came forward and stepped up and told and said that he wanted to fight Terence Crawford only if the money's right. With Crawford saying he's not interested in the Porter fight, he's probably closed the door on him ever getting a chance at fighting a PBC fighter. That might be a good thing for Crawford though, because if he did fight Porter or any other PBC fighter, he'll likely lose. Once that happened, Aaron would be able to. He wouldn't be able to bang on about how Crawford is the best welterweight in the division. So there it is, man. It's official. Terence Crawford has ducked Showtime Shawn Porter. I want to see what he's going to say about the Danny Garcia call out. I know Bob Arum wanted to match him up with Danny Garcia before, but they lowballed him. They paid Amir Khan more money to fight, and they wasn't willing to pay Danny Garcia the same amount of money. So it's just a wait-and-see game. It's just boxing. Don't forget to subscribe, like, smash the bell icon to get notification of all new videos that come your way. It's just boxing. I'm out. Peace.